folks, welcome to today's football predictions. Some bet cards, another very beautiful Wednesday morning, and once again we're back with our predictions as usual. We always look at football games that are going on across the globe. I will select a few of these matches and look into them thoroughly before bringing forward for you. And as we'll do on a daily basis on Betcraft, all right, and exactly what we're going to do in a short while. And I always want to urge you to remember to join our VIP channel, VIP membership group, where we put out games that we believe to be having more likelihood of coming out correctly. Do endeavor to join. And when you look at this very video, anyway, you found join, or you can check the description of this very video. You can always see the link that will give you access to that exclusive group membership. All right, that's what we do. All right, and without further ado, we head to today's football predictions. And we'll start with the very first game for today. Even though yesterday we didn't have the best of days, but today we're hopeful we're going to have a lot of success in our predictions today. And do not take these games for granted, as they are all well vetted. And when you look at the recent games for these two sides, Germany women coming up against Spanish women in the UEFA Women Championship, where we have these two giants of the football in Europe. And you're looking at the recent games for German women. It is 4 wins and a draw, as well as 1 loss in the last 6 games. And for the away side, Spanish women, they have won 6 games out of the last 6 matches. They're in fine form, very good form at the moment. All right, and in this very tournament, you could see that the last recent games for Germany, we could see that they actually had a 1-1 draw against France and eventually winning that very match. That got into extra time, and we saw them defeating the likes of Poland and Denmark. And on the away side, the Spanish side, we saw them doing so very well, scoring so much goals in this very tournament. We saw them beating the likes of Portugal and as well as Belgium, with lots of goals. And the last game they had, we saw them beating the likes of Switzerland by 2-0 that very occasion. And they are very, very good. The away side, and putting all these results together, we know that the Spanish side are in fine form at the moment. And even though we know that the last time they met, it was the German side who actually won in the Olympics by 1-0 against the Spanish side, we still are going with the away side, the Spanish women, to take it there. Here, it is a revenge mission for the Spanish women. So away side to win, that's what we expect for that very one. And the next is in the UEFA Conference League, where we have Levadia of Estonia coming up against Saburtalo. All right, and when you look at the Saburtalo is actually a team in Georgia. All right, when you look at stats for these two sides, you see that Levadia, the home side, have won 4 matches in the last 6 games. They've also had 2 losses out of those, and Levadia, their away side. So Saburtalo, their away side. Pardon me about the name. It is 2 victories and a draw, as well as 3 losses out of the last 6 games that they had. When you look at how the two teams have performed from home and away perspective, you can see home side of Levadia in the last 10 home matches, I've seen them winning 7 games and drawing 2 and also losing 1. And the away side have been able to manage 5 victories and 4 draws in the last 10 away games. They've also lost 1. All right, the last game they had was in Champions League qualifying match, where they lost out to Malmo on both home and away. And here we are going with the home side to do well here. The Estonian side, Levadia, to either win or draw, and under 4.5. That's what we expect for this very encounter. And the next we have for you today is in the UEFA Champions League qualifying match. We have Shelbourne of Ireland coming up against Qarabag. Okay, when you look at recent games for these two sides, Shelbourne have won 3 and drawn 3 in the last 6 matches. And Qarabag, on the other hand, have won 4 matches and also they've lost 2 games out of the last 6 matches that they had so far. And when you look at how the two teams fared from home and away perspective, you could see that the home side, Shelbourne, is a side that actually won 5 matches in the last 10 home matches that they had. They've also had 2 draws rather, and also they've lost 3 games out of the last 10 home matches. And away side Qarabag, on the other hand, is a side that have won 7 matches in the last 10 away games that they had. They also had 2 draws, and also they've lost just 1 match in the last 10 away games that they had. And also they've been doing so very well in recent times. You could see in the last meeting that they had from away between them and FC Twente, the Dutch side, they actually Qarabag on that very occasion defeated Twente by 3-2. That's also that decided does so very well even when playing from away against a quality opponent. And there's no record of head-to-head meetings between two sides, meaning that there's never been a time both sides met. But here it is quite difficult to call. But we are going with the which side Qarabag who have shown, good signs of doing so very well in recent games to take the day in this very one, and we are also going with side to either win or draw and under 4.5. I will to win or draw and under 4 goals. That's what we expect for that very encounter. All right, and we head to the last game for today. It is also in the UEFA Champions League qualifying match. We'll have Brann of Norway coming up against Salzburg of Austria, and looking at our recent games for these two sides, you could see that Brann in the last 6 have been able to achieve 3 victories and a draw, and they've also lost 2 matches out of the last 6 matches that they had in recent times. And the West side Salzburg winning 3 games and a draw, also losing 2 rather in the last 6 games that they had in recent times. Okay, when you take a look at the performances from home and away basis, Brann, the home side, in the last 10 home games have won 7 out of the last 10 home matches, and they've also had 2 draws, but have also lost 1 match in the last 10 home matches that they had so far. We saw them winning the likes of Viking, a very strong side, in the last home game that they had. We saw them beating Viking by 3-1, and they've been doing so very well recent times, winning 70% of the home sides, matches that they had so far. And the West side Salzburg, on the other hand, a very strong side, biggest side in Austria, also winning 4 matches in the last 10 away games and drawing 2 out of those. They've also lost 4 matches out of the last 10 away games that they had, and the last away game they had sort of winning by 2-1, but they lost prior to that, we saw them losing to Stormgrass, and the second to the last away game they had, we saw them losing to Stormgrass by 4-2 on that very occasion. And putting all these statistics together, we are that's actually made it very difficult to predict. But we also note the fact that the recent games for them, the last 5 away matches that they had, have seen them averaging 2 goals per away games. Salzburg this time around, the last 5 away games, I've always seen them scoring a minimum of 2 goals in the last 5 away matches that they had. And the home side Brann, we saw them scoring the likes of 3 goals and also 4 goals against the likes of Kristiansand and also Vikings. That tells you that these 2 teams are teams that are quite capable of scoring. And in this very one, we are going to expect to see a lot of goals here, and it is a minimum of 3 goals to score in this very encounter. We expect to see an over 2.5. That's all valid for that very encounter. All right, that concludes it for us today on BetCrafter. Wish you the very best of luck and hope your ticket goes green. Also remember to play responsibly, as these are football matches. Play with what you can afford to lose. Sometimes it may not actually be exactly what it presents. That being said, remember the remainder of these very games will be on our VIP special group. Do endeavor to join. A link to join will be in the description of this very video, and also anywhere you see join around this very video, it will also lead you to our VIP special group. Do endeavor to join and also support us to be doing this on a daily basis. All right, that being said, tomorrow is another day. We'll definitely be back with our predictions on this very channel. Do not miss out, but until that time, keep winning.